Good morning, students. Hope you all are fit and fine at your home. And here we start our next video lesson with the topic Pursuing Social Justice from Social Justice chapter. We have already cleared two topics from there. Now here we have to be discussed about the main Pursuing Social Justice, which is very important. And here we get to know about that pursuing means how it starts in the field of social justice. Here we have to be covered that people, those who are living in a country, there should be no division exist between those who enjoy greater and wealth property. Everybody should get equal facilities provided by the government, because we are living in a democratic type of government, and it's the duty of the government which is responsible and accountable for its citizens. So we can say that we are living in a country where we are choosing our representatives who is responsible for its citizens' health and each and everything. So there should be no discrimination on the ground of rich and poor. So basically the main duty of the government is that we can say that to provide at least all the basic minimum facilities to its citizens, like health facility, education facility, and shelter facility, sanitation, proper clean drinking water. These are very important for the citizen. So we can see that here a just society should provide people with the basic minimum condition to enable them healthy and secure lives protective. It is the duty of the government to provide each and everything to its people. And for example, here we can also in this module cover about the international organizations who came forward to improving the health structure of its other countries like India. Here also, like World Health Organization in general, we can say that at least to fulfill or the basic amount of nourishment needed to remain healthy, housing, supply of clean drinking water, all these facilities they have to providing with education also. So these are all the basic we can say that the duties of the government towards its citizens, because a healthy citizen can only do healthy works, and then which is important for development of the country and its own selves also. So some debates are also there, and conflicts also there, that there should be a proper free market would be the best way to helping all these disadvantage without harming the betterment members of the society. So that we also cover in the next last topic about the free market versus state interference. So free market here means that as far possible individuals should be free to own property and enter into contracts and agreements with other regarding prices and wages and profits. They should be free to compete with each other to gain greatest amount of benefit. This is a simple description of free market. So otherwise we can see that a free market economy is when the allocation of resources is determined by supply and demand without any government interference. Supply and demand create competition, which helps ensure that the best goods or services are provided to consumers at a lower price, but not on the cost of quality, because all these things are very important for the healthy citizen. In a free market, the laws and forces of supply and demand are free from any interference by a government or other authority, and from all forms of economic privilege, monopolies, and artificial scarcities. Proponents of the concept of free market contrast it with the regulated market, in which a government interferes in supply and demand through various methods such as tariffs. Tariffs beta means that to restrict trade and to protect the local economy. In an ideal free market economy, prices for goods and services are set freely by the forces of supply and demand and are allowed to reach their point of equilibrium without interference by government policy. Scholars contrast the concept of a free market with the concept of coordinated market in fields of study such as political economy and new economy. So here basically it means that it is the duty of the government, we can say that to providing free services to the poor and needy can be justified as an act of charity. Providing all citizens with a basic minimum standard of living in a way of ensuring equality of opportunity. Then we can say that ensuring a basic facility and a minimum standard of living to all its recognition of or shared humanity and human right. Here we can see that providing all citizens with a basic minimum standard of living on the way of ensuring equality of opportunity. So we can say that in India different approaches are being suggested by different political groups who debate the relative merits to help marginal sections of people also. And here we can say that arguments put forward in favor of market distribution means that more choices are there, as I already cleared that if the private agencies came forward or the others, that there should be not on the cost of people's health, because people's lives are very very important. Here we can see that in remote rural areas some schools are opened and health facilities also there, but on the basis of low quality. So it is the government who came forward, take first step that and aware the people that life of the peoples are very important and they have to be work on quality rather than quantity, and there should be no low quality, and they can afford, and whether on the cheap rates. Basically the thing is that which is that approachable, accessible by the poor people also. So there should be, we can say that free markets and private enterprises, that quality of services which provided superior to the government institution, but the cost of such services may put them or out of the reach of the poor. Private business tends to go where business would be most profitable. Free markets eventually tend to work in the interest of the strong, wealthy and powerful. So we can't deny that opportunities for those who are relatively weak and disadvantaged, they should be also work on it. Many debates are on this. So at last we can say that democratic society disagreements about issues of distribution and justice are inevitable and even healthy, because they force us to examine different points of view. So here we can say that in our country many kinds of social and economic inequalities exist. First of all, we have to be root out all these things. We have to be work together with government. We have to be make our steps also as a responsible citizen to abolish, to root out all these such inequalities. So we can work on the three principles of justice also: equal treatment for equals, recognition of special needs, proportionate principles, and pursuing social justice, free market versus state intervention. So all these things we have to be studied in this chapter in detail. Basically we can say that justice implies something which it is not only right to do and wrong not to do, but which some individual person can claim from us as his moral right. So these are the wordings of J.S. Mill. In short, we can say that justice means that to provide good judgment decision in the favor of the person victim who suffers from the injustice. So there should be no partiality, there should be no difference on the basis of caste, color, creed, rich, poor, haves not. Here the main thing is that question to provide every citizen, whether rich or poor. It's the duty of the government to take care of all these things, and without any partiality by a system, they provide equal justice to all the people, those who are living in a country, society. Thank you so much guys. Take care.